scouted on Google Satellite. It's not on any of the apps. Another high elevation site, so I'm excited about it. And just like that, she feels like she's stuttering, like skipping. I'm gonna go show you a beautiful spot, just like half a mile, quarter of a mile from my camp. This road is part of the old Pony Express. My brakes were smoking. Tomorrow's the big day, going down the hill to see if my brakes are gonna smoke. Never a dull moment.
There ain't nobody gonna do it for you. You got to find your own.
Good morning. So we left camp by 8:30 this morning, a half hour ahead of schedule, and we had to leave that spot because of a race coming through, a dirt bike race coming through this weekend. It's Thursday. We were afraid people might start coming in to camp, and we were in a really big spot. If you missed that video, I'll put it at the end and in the video description. Gorgeous spot, high up in elevation. So we are making some progress today on our northern route. So I don't know if I've told you. Right now, my plan is to drive up to the Canadian border with Ralph. Ralph's gonna go home to Canada, and I'm gonna just to do something different east. I'm gonna kind of hug the Canadian border on the American side, Montana, maybe even hit the UP again this year, maybe. So we'll see. That's my goal right now. So yeah, I am heading to Canada, but not going to Canada as of right now. But just because I'm keeping an eye on the news, keeping an eye on. I just saw another American citizen was detained at a border, and his phone was searched. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. So we got about a 3-hour drive today, north of Ely. I have a place I scouted on Google Satellite. It's not on any of the apps. Another high elevation site, so I'm excited about it. Looks pretty good from aerial. And that's it. Stopping in Ely to do some grocery shopping. I just stopped at, what did I just stop at? Cathedral Gorge State Park and dumped my tanks. $5 day use dump fee if you're a Nevada resident, $10 if you're not a Nevada resident. Really great deal. And so I dumped my tanks, and if you'll remember, I went to Cathedral Gorge State Park was it last year or two years ago? It was the year my mother got scammed. I feel like that's where I was when I found out she got scammed. And if you don't know about that, I'll put the link to that below as well. She was a victim of the grandparents scam. Somebody called, said, she says it sounded like me. Who knows with AI? It could have sounded like me, but it also just, you go into fight or flight panic mode. It could have sounded nothing like me. I don't know. But anyway, said that I got in an accident. I was in the infirmary, they said, not even the hospital. But anyway, yeah, it was pretty bad. Stole a lot of her money. But beside the money, she was an emotional wreck. So I believe I was at Cathedral Canyon when I got that call, and I was like, okay, I got to go east this year. So I think it was a couple of years, 3 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. Hadn't planned on going east, I don't think, that year. And now I go east every year. So anyway, Cathedral Canyon, gorgeous park. That was where somebody parked right next to me, and I got really mad. And I went on a gorgeous hike. So you might want to check out that video. It's a beautiful park. Anyway, back to driving. I'm going to stop pretty soon and make my second cup of coffee, do my hair, take a bath. Ooh, that would have been a perfect spot. So I'm going to pay attention to the road. roads out here are graded very, very well. We were 5 or 6 miles out of road just like this, no washboard. They graded it while we were there too. When we came in, it wasn't that bad, and then they graded it while we were there, and it was even better, super smooth. Nevada, public work, what would that be? Highway. You guys know how to grade. How's this for a lunch? Well, not a lunch spot. How's this for second coffee spot? You ready to get back on the road? Okay. Let's get back on the road. You ready to get back on the road, huh? Yeah.
Gypsy goddess, a little too modest. My hair comes down every now and then. A wild card with a reckless heart. I've seen love come around the bend. I raised babies that were not mine, and I'ma raise my own on my own time. Been handed fate, was too late. Made my luck on my own dime. Been called too crazy, been called too blind. But I built this ground I'm walking on. Been running since I was a child, drowning out the noise with the red dirt in my bones. Build a kingdom of just to burn it down, and if you need me, I'll be laughing at the pain, dancing in the play.
Really, dudes? Jeez. Just moseying across the road on a blind curve. Damn, my RV handled that climb really, really well. She's, knock on wood, I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it. But you know what I was going to say. I'm not going to jinx it. She's so good. She's so... Oh, what am I getting so excited about? How's your ears? Did your ears pop? Did your ears pop? You're so smart. And just like that, she feels like she's stuttering. Like skipping. I have been noticing it. It's always done it. Like for years. Every once in a while, I just get like this stutter. I've talked to every mechanic about it, and they're like, I don't know. I thought it was better after they plugged in the speed sensor. I didn't notice it for a long time. And I was like, oh, it was just the speed sensor being loose, which made sense. But I've been feeling it again. It's like a jerk. It's not a slip. It's like a jerk. And I always seem to notice it, like if I swerve or in the wind. In the wind, so that made sense for the speed sensor. Okay, and I'm noticing now all of a sudden we're getting gusty winds. It could be the wind. My RPMs aren't changing, you know, nothing like that. It just like stutters. It's hard to explain. I don't know, now it feels fine. It might have just been the wind. Well, welcome to Ely. I came here, I believe it was last year, so there's a video for Ely. I'll put it in the video description if you want to watch it. I spent some time here, walked around, visited a museum outside Museum Village. It was fun. Cool little town. She feels fine. I hope it was just like wind. It's pretty windy. Okay, so I stopped and got groceries and checked my transmission fluid and my battery connections. Just thought maybe my battery connections were loose. They're not, although they need to be cleaned. I'll do that in my next camp. My transmission fluid, so I checked all my fluids like 2 days ago, except transmission fluid, because I was like, I just had that I just had it serviced and it clean. I did the transmission fluid flush. That's what it was. Not flush. Change. Transmission fluid change. So I was like, I don't need transmission fluid. I was a half quart low, maybe. I checked it hot. I checked it running. I was on a little bit of a hill, but it was maybe a half a quart short. So let's see how it goes. It is pretty windy. I think that's wishful thinking. In fact, I think I'm feeling it now. Camp is about an hour away. We'll see how it goes. I'll tell you one thing, I think I need an alignment. I've got a little bit of a shake, not a lot. I need shocks, I need an alignment. I wanted to wait till I get to New York to do all that. But I might do it sooner and go ahead and get a tune-up. The last guy that did my spark plugs was that idiot that ripped me off in Las Vegas. So maybe he didn't do... Oh, no. That's not true. The mechanic, when I broke down at Lake Mead a couple of years ago, I had him redo my spark plugs just in case the other guy. So my spark plugs should be fine. So far, it's fine. It is windy. No check engine light. Yeah, I'm feeling resistance from the wind. Okay. I also get my fuel filter changed regularly. I was going to put some fuel treatment in. I kept thinking before I went up that pass, I wanted to, when I stopped for coffee, I was down to like a quarter of a tank, so I wanted to put some seafoam in it, and I totally forgot. So I kept thinking, I should pull over, but I didn't want to stop. So I would like to do a fuel treatment. It's been a while since I've done one. Yeah, could be that. Could be a fuel thing. I always thought maybe it was a vacuum thing, but they checked my vacuum in New York last year and said it was fine. Was it last year? Yeah, I think it was last year. Said it was fine. of a test. We were at least, that was a huge climb. At least 7,700 feet, because that's what the pass was, the big pass, and there was snow. I would say 8,000 feet. That was a big climb. Now we're going back down. Cool. Good morning from 6,400 feet, I think, in elevation, just north of Ely, Nevada. So we're up in the mountains. I found this spot by cross-referencing my U.S. Public Lands app and Google Maps, and using satellite view to look for potential turnouts and stuff like that. And this is a pretty nice camping spot. It's okay. It's right next to the road. There's not a lot of traffic, but there is private property right down the road and a ranch further down. But the big news is my brakes were smoking when we pulled in. It looked like mostly my passenger side brake. There was just smoke pouring out and a little bit of a smell. Ralph thought it was a rubber smell. So that's concerning because we came 6 miles uphill to get here. Pretty steep pass. And I'm gonna have to get out of here. I got underneath and I inspected everything. I don't see like any signs of anything burning. Ralph thinks maybe a caliper could have gotten stuck, which is possible. And if that's the case, if the caliper is sticking, then maybe that is what was causing the jerking coming downhill into Ely, if it was sticking. And that makes perfect sense. So I'm kind of hoping that it was that. I'm kind of hoping that when I leave, it doesn't smoke. I would like to move on to Twin Falls, which is our next destination. I already found a truck shop that'll take RVs in Twin Falls, so get everything checked there. I mean, I don't ride my brakes a lot. I had it in second gear coming down. I mean, we're not even that far down the hill. We crossed the path and came down, so there wasn't a lot. But I did do 2 big passes. It may not have cooled down from that first big pass. That was pretty big coming into Ely. So they could have just been overheated and something could be sticking. My brake fluid is fine. I don't see any brake fluid leaks. I'm not seeing anything. I crawled under there and everything looks fine from my untrained eye. So what I'm going to have to do getting out of here in a couple of days, today's Saturday, I think we're going to leave on Monday, is just put it in first gear all the way down. I don't like first gear just because it sounds like the transmission is working so hard. So I always put it in second, but then I'm using my brakes more. So I'll just put it in first gear all the way down, and we're going to check it. There's a big rest area at the bottom. I'll check it when we get there and decide whether I have to turn around and go back to Ely and see if I can find somebody to look at it. Or hopefully, so Ely's an hour away. Twin Falls is like more than 3 hours away. Life on the road is always exciting, isn't it? So that's that, but this is a gorgeous spot. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see private property down there. They've been doing some excavating. Yeah, excavating with some machinery down there, clearing it out. And so that's pretty much the beginning of private property down there. But there's a lot of BLM all the way in, and then this is a national forest road that I'm gonna go for a hike on. Looking forward to that. But see, a big turnout, and there's a fire ring over there. So unfortunately, it's gonna be on my mind the whole time we're here. I'm not gonna be able to fully relax. I'm always gonna be worried about the drive out. But I have a ton of work to do, so we'll just stay here until Monday Yeah. You know, I was in one place for 6 months. Seems like this always happens. I mean, I was around my home base for 6 months, where I have a mechanic that I like, and you know, everything was running fine. I got the tires checked. I didn't get the brakes checked, and I was gonna wait until I got to New York to get my rear brakes checked, because I know they're getting close to being due. So I can't even remember the last time I got them done, but I figured they could make it to New York, but maybe not. Yeah. Never a dull moment. Have you ever wished you were in another country? Well, it may not be easy for you to transport yourself to another country, but with Surfshark VPN, you can transport your computer to hundreds of countries around the world so that you can access information that you may not be able to access in your current location. Times are getting really strange. I'm starting to get a little worried that I may not be able to access truthful news. But I have peace of mind with Surfshark VPN that no matter what happens here, I'm going to be able to make it look like my computer is broadcasting from another country, so that I'm going to be able to access truthful, fact-based news no matter what happens here. In addition to being able to use a VPN to broadcast from another country, but it's also going to keep you and your information and your sensitive data safe by encrypting your data from your keyboard all across the web, all across from your keyboard to your bank, to your financial institutions, and all the sensitive data that you're entering and that you're viewing is going to be safe using Surfshark VPN. Hackers can be watching. Even if you think you're on a private internet connection, hackers may be spying on you. In addition to Surfshark's VPN, you can also sign up for additional services like malware, spyware, antivirus, and you can also sign up for alternate ID, which I really am starting to love. You can pretend you're somebody else. Different address, different phone number, different email address, different gender, different name while you're browsing the internet. This is one extra step of security. You can use this email address for forms that you fill out and for browsing the internet when you have to enter information, and that just gives you another level of security while you're online doing your business. And again, that's another thing that might really help keep you safe in the long run with whatever might be happening. You can get started right now protecting not only your sensitive information, but your identity online. And using my discount code CarolynsRV, you're going to get 4 extra months for free. And you can literally be protecting your information and your identity within just a few minutes by clicking the link in the video description below. Thank you, Surfshark, for keeping me safe and for being a great partner to this channel.
Well, you look very cozy. But I gotta take it. Can I have it? Can I have it? Thank you. Thank you. I just walked up half a mile, very steep hill. I'll show it to you on the way down. I figured it'd be better to shoot it on the way down. You don't have all my heavy breathing. Wow, that was a lot. But I'm at the top and it's gorgeous. A couple of nice camping spots up here. So when I scouted the spot, we're right on the corner of a county road and a forest road. It is all BLM, but I was hoping when we got here we'd be able to scout the forest road because I couldn't see it on satellite to see, explore it by foot to see if we could camp off the main county road. But my brakes were smoking, so and it was a long day, so we decided just to stay down there, and we explored this later. Ralph explored it first. And honestly, this road coming up to this camping spot, if we're only staying a few days, it's not worth it. Maybe if I was out here and I was going to stay a couple weeks, it's a pretty steep road and rutted. So, loving the change of scenery with all the different critter smells. Look at that, above the timberline. We're at, according to my altimeter, we're at 64 or 6,600 feet. So that's at least 8,000. Look how gorgeous. Another nice camp. You're in a van. Don't even really need four-wheel drive to get up here. A van would work. Oh, look at that. What do you think? I think that's got to be my RV down there. You see the white? Mine or Ralph's. Let me see. There. It's got to be because there's nothing else down there. Look at that view. Yeah, I'm a little stressed about getting out of here with that brake smoking. Yeah. Could be a stuck caliper, but I'm just gonna have to go in first gear all the way back down. I came down in second, and I don't ride my brakes a lot, so I don't know what's going on. Probably leave Monday or Tuesday, and once we get down to the bottom of the hill, I'll look at it, see what's going on, and decide my next move from there. What else am I gonna do? Ooh, those smell like pine. A little bit, not a lot. Mostly they smell. Oh, there's some pitch. There's a little bit of pitch in it. Can you see? Yeah. That's what I smell the pine on, is the pitch. Oh, so nice. You know, natives, a lot of bushcraft, pitch can be used to, or sap can be used, I think it's the same, right? It can be used to seal things. Some people use it to like seal seams on tents and stuff like that. You can use it for wounds. It also has antiseptic qualities. So it's very, very sticky, and it'll seal watertight. So it's good for a lot of different things. And it smells really good. Nature can heal us if we let her. But we're also convinced that only Western medicine, and that's by design, by the way. So there's a whole story behind, what's it called? Midwives, and how male doctors pushed out midwives, making everybody think that, you know, you have to be in a hospital to give birth. I read a story about it a while ago, but, you know, midwives had birthed babies for millennia, and then all of a sudden, along came Western medicine and male doctors, and they're like, no, bad, turn this over to a man. Yeah. And Western medicine. Anyway, nature heals. It's kind of interesting, too, when you think about it, like this whole cholesterol thing that I've been dealing with. Our Western habits, our Western food that's full of chemicals and preservatives and GMOs and all of that crap is poisoning us. It's crazy. It's a crazy cycle when you think about it. How modern day food, water, air, everything is poisoning us. And yet they want us to go to more Western medicine, pharmaceuticals, chemicals, even chemotherapy to heal us. Instead of saying, you know, maybe none of this is working and we should just get back to Mother Nature. Wow. Holy shit. Oh, I'm getting hiking, backpacking vibes. Wow. Wow. This has all been cleared. Wow. Oh my goodness. Hey, I see a road down there. Oh, so when I came to the top of the hill, can you see on my walk? Right there. I could have gone left or right. Left went downhill, so that must be the other trail. Maybe I'll explore that another day. I mean, wow. Almost Sisters Oregon vibes. My PCT, this reminds me a lot of that PCT. I have a picture. It looks a lot like this. Wow. You know, and people are like, yeah, but people only lived to be like 30 back in the old days, so we're way better off now. Are we? Pumped full of chemicals just to stay alive? Just to stay upright? Go to Walmart and see how many people can't even walk. And they have to go around in carts. I've always said I prefer quality over quantity. And that's why I'm not afraid to do things. Because look how much I was telling my friend the other day. We were talking about just the state of things and being alive now, and you know, just kind of how weird that is. And I was like, you know, I've lived more life than 100 people. So, you know, when it's my time to go, I'm okay with that. I've squeezed a lot of life into 57 years. And I take Mother Earth over patriarchal Western medicine any day for now, or Western living even. But yeah, nature heals, and nature has snow. Look at that. What do you think, Sadie? Want to get a drink? You're thirsty? Here, let me get you a drink. Here, look at that. Yeah. One more? Oh, look at all that. You good? Want to chase it? Look it. Want to chase it? Oh, that wasn't very nice, was it? Stay. Stay. Good girl. Okay, no more talking for now. I'll just leave you with the beautiful, I'll do it ASMR for the rest of the hike. Just beautiful sounds of nature. Wind and everything. Gorgeous spot. Sorry to break the ASMR. This is the road out of camp coming up the half-mile steep that I was too out of breath to film on the way down. On the way up. Just making a really easy dinner tonight. Bunch of chopped raw vegetables. I have this red bell pepper I need to use, some broccoli, some kale, and that red cabbage that I've been carrying around with me for a really long time. And I've been making big pots of quinoa or brown rice and freezing them in individual servings. So I'm going to throw in a little bit of quinoa tonight into the salad. Good source of protein and fiber. Along with some pumpkin seeds and walnuts. And the dressing is bitchin sauce and a little bit of salsa and vinegar, salt and pepper, and it's delicious. So it's my last morning here at this spot just outside of Ely, Nevada. Tomorrow's the big day, going down the hill to see if my brakes are going to smoke. And if so, I found a shop in Ely that actually advertises they do work on RVs, and they've got like 5 stars. So if my brakes are smoking tomorrow morning, I'm going right back into Ely and getting that taken care of. But I'm going to enjoy my last day here. It's Sunday, so finishing up my Sunday video. And going, I already went for a little walk, but I'm going to go show you a beautiful spot, just like half a mile, quarter of a mile from my camp. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to show you the beauty of it because it's really cloudy and cold today. 37 degrees when I first went out. It's up to 43 now, and the high is only supposed to be 50 today. And I think it got down, let's see how cold it got last night. Look at that, 27 last night. Nice. So, gosh, it didn't feel that cold. But, yeah, so that's what I'm doing. And just enjoying my last day in this gorgeous camp. By the way, it's on the Pony Express Trail. This road is part of the old Pony Express. So that's kind of interesting. So, been looking around, keeping my eyes on the ground for any artifacts. Haven't found any. I don't find a lot. But my friend Ralph, who's camped with me, he has a good eye. He finds a lot of stuff, but me, not so much. So there's a lot of grazing on BLM land, National Forest land as well. They lease it out to ranchers to graze their cattle. I looked it up a couple of years ago and it's like $3 a head a month, I think. Yeah, $3 a head for cattle to graze your cattle, and you don't have to have your own land. You can graze it on public land. I think that's what the whole Bundy thing was about, right? And you know, there's a lot of, we're all really worried about the future of public lands, rightly so, because it looks like it's going to be a free-for-all, selling it off to the highest bidder. And yeah, the fact is, public lands are sold all the time. They're leased out, they're used, but there have been always checks and balances to make sure they are preserved, and those checks and balances seem to be non-existent at the moment. But you can see here, a lot of it, this whole area just is overgrazed. And you see that a lot in the national forests, especially. I went for a walk this morning across the road from me. The ground is nothing but dirt and rock. There's no vegetation at all. And there are signs of cattle up there. So completely overgrazed. It's not good for the environment. It's not good for the natural habitat. People give me hell all the time about Sadie running free. And this is part of the reason. I'm like, yeah, okay, one dog as opposed to thousands of heads of cattle. So that's what I'm going to show you today, though. We're walking along a cattle trail, and kind of is reminiscent of me growing up near farms. All right. I love sagebrush. Sagebrush is not the same as sage. Smells like sage. I don't know if you can eat this. Look at it all. I wish you could smell. Look at it all. Smells so good. See, up there. See, there's absolutely no vegetation up there between the trees. And it goes back like that forever. If I remember correctly, there's a trail around this. It's prettier the other morning with the sun out. It's hard to believe at one time this was a popular horse route. The Pony Express ran right through here. I believe on the road that I came in on. It started in 1860, but it only lasted for 18 months because the telegraph came through. And when they sent the first telegraph from San Francisco, I believe, to the president, the Pony Express shut down like 2 or 3 days later because they knew they just couldn't compete with how fast the telegraph was. And yeah, the telegraph was Morse code. But the Pony Express carried mail along the route, and it was the fastest way to get messages at the time. And they actually do reenactments of the Pony Express in this area. They ride horses along the route just like they did in 1860, the 1,966 miles from Sacramento, California to St. Joseph, Missouri. They reenact it, and they take 10 days to ride the whole Pony Express trail, just like they did back in the day. It's pretty cool. And they will actually deliver your mail during this reenactment. If that would be a fun thing for a history buff. If anybody is along the Pony Express route, how fun would that be to have your mail delivered by the Pony Express? And they say it's $5 for a letter, which is up from the original price of $1. How fun would that be? It's pretty cool. But we passed a California telegraph site on the way in, and it's very close, I think, to the top of the hill, so maybe we'll stop on the way out and check it out. But yeah, the California Telegraph just completely wiped it out overnight. Progress, right? Burr. It's a lot chillier out here today than it was the first time I came out here. I just want to go back, get warm, maybe turn on the oven, maybe bake something to keep warm. I'm debating whether I want to make scones. I have a really good gluten-free vegan scone recipe, but scones do have a lot of butter, which I'm trying to cut back on for my cholesterol. But might be a nice treat. Wow. Oh, more bones. Wow. Whole cow here. Those other bones I saw must have been dragged off. Still heavy. So what I don't understand is why there's so much horse poop out here. I mean, when I first got here, I thought it must be a lot of wild horses out here. I haven't seen any. That doesn't mean anything, but man, there's a ton. There's more horse poop out here than cow poop. There is some old cow. I'm stepping over old cow now. You know, and the other day on my walk, that nice campsite up over the hill, somebody had dumped horse poop, but they don't come all the way out here to dump their horse poop. Oh, is that the way down? Oh. I'll follow this trail, see where it goes. I mean, but there are definitely either horse or cattle trail here. I assumed cattle. I don't know. I'm not being very nice to my future editing self. This camera work. Look at that. So, I'm no longer doing my protein pancakes for breakfast every day because I realized how much, hang on. Oh, where's my plate? Because I realized how much saturated fat I was getting in my protein pancakes between my spray for the pan and the vegan butter I was putting on it, or peanut butter even. So now I'm only doing my protein pancakes as a treat on Sundays and eating oatmeal the rest of the week. So today though is even extra special. I made some cashew cream last night. So soak cashews in water overnight and then drain the water, put a little bit of plant-based milk in and whip it up and you get a cream. And did I throw any sweetener in? No, I don't think I did. Little salt, you can throw sweetener in. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And I've discovered frozen fruit. I never used to buy frozen fruit, and now I do. I started with frozen blueberries for my oatmeal and my pancakes, and now I'm expanding, and I bought frozen peaches, so I just made, just heated them up, you know, what's that called? Heated them up in a pan, and, you know, almost made like a sauce out of it, peach sauce, something like that. And a little bit of the cashew cream on top. And it's, let's see how it tastes. It's smoky in here. Ooh, that looks so good. Peach. Mmm. That pancake is slightly burnt, but other than that, very good. So, if you're new here, my protein pancakes are buckwheat flour and baking powder, and I just throw everything together. I don't measure. It'll be in my cookbook, which I plan on starting to work on again this summer. And protein powder, and I use the peanut butter protein powder. Yeah, see, I try to cut down on the oil and it sticks a little bit. There. That's very good. Problem with making pancakes for breakfast is I like my food hot. I don't like eating things that are like lukewarm or cold. So I end up eating while I stand up. I eat the pancakes as they come off the griddle. All right, it's a big day. Getting out of here, going down that long 6-mile hill with a bad break.